War doesn't just destroy cities. It quietly dismantles the backbone of society, the middle class. As conflicts rage, prices surge, jobs disappear, and savings vanish, pushing millions from stability into survival mode. Families that once lived comfortably are now struggling to afford basics like food, fuel, and housing. This isn't just economic disruption. It's a long-term erosion of opportunity, security, and growth. In this video, we'll explore how wars are steadily crushing middle-class economies and what it means for the future of everyday life. Today, we will talk about how wars are destroying middle-class economies. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Introduction: wars are often viewed through the lens of politics, borders, and military power, but their most lasting impact is economic, especially on the middle class. While governments and financial institutions may eventually recover, ordinary families are the first to feel the pressure and the last to recover. Rising prices, job instability, supply shortages, and weakening currencies all combine to slowly erode the financial stability that defines middle-class life. Over time, what was once considered a stable and secure lifestyle begins to slip into uncertainty and survival mode. 1. The breakdown of economic stability. One of the first ways war damages middle-class economies is by disrupting overall economic stability. Markets react instantly to conflict with uncertainty, and investors shift towards safe assets like gold or foreign currencies. This leads to falling local investments and slower business activity. As economic confidence declines, businesses delay expansion, hiring slows, and wages stagnate. Middle-class households, often dependent on steady employment, feel the pressure immediately. Even if jobs are not lost right away, the fear of instability reduces spending power and weakens long-term financial planning. 2. Inflation and rising cost of living. War almost always triggers inflation, especially through energy and food prices. Conflicts in key regions can disrupt oil production and shipping routes, causing global fuel price spikes. These costs then spread across the entire economy. Transport becomes more expensive, manufacturing costs increase, and food prices rise. According to economic analysis, war-related disruptions can push inflation across multiple sectors, not just energy markets. For middle-class families, this means salaries remain the same while everyday essentials, groceries, electricity, rent, become significantly more expensive. 3. Job losses and wage pressure. War does not only destroy infrastructure, it also reshapes labor markets. Businesses that rely on imports, exports, or stable supply chains often reduce operations or shut down entirely. This leads to layoffs and reduced hiring. At the same time, governments may redirect spending toward military needs, pulling resources away from civilian industries. While some sectors like defense may grow, they do not employ the same broad workforce as consumer-driven industries. The result is uneven job creation that rarely benefits the middle class as a whole. Even workers who keep their jobs often face stagnant wages that fail to match inflation, effectively reducing real income. 4. Supply chain collapse and product shortages. Modern economies are deeply interconnected, meaning goods are produced and shipped across multiple countries. War disrupts this system by blocking trade routes, damaging ports, and increasing transportation risks. As logistics networks break down, supply chains become slower and more expensive. Businesses respond by increasing prices or limiting production. This leads to shortages of everyday goods such as food items, electronics, fuel, and raw materials. These disruptions hit middle-class consumers hardest because they rely heavily on imported and manufactured goods, unlike wealthier groups who can absorb price increases more easily. 5. Currency weakening and financial insecurity. Another major effect of war is currency instability. When investors lose confidence in a country's economy, they often pull money out, causing the local currency to weaken. This makes imports more expensive and further fuels inflation. A weaker currency also reduces the value of savings. Middle-class households with bank deposits or fixed-income investments may find their purchasing power shrinking even if their account balances remain unchanged. Over time, this erodes long-term financial security and retirement planning. 6. Rising government debt and tax pressure. Wars are extremely expensive, often forcing governments to borrow heavily. Increased military spending combined with reduced economic productivity leads to rising national debt. To manage this debt, governments may increase taxes or reduce public services such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure investment. These changes disproportionately affect middle-class families, who rely on public services while also bearing the burden of taxation. In many cases, this creates a long-term cycle where citizens pay more but receive less economic support in return. 7. Wealth inequality and middle-class erosion. War tends to widen the gap between the wealthy and the middle class. Wealthy individuals and large corporations often have diversified assets, including foreign investments, commodities, and real estate, which can protect them from local economic shocks. In contrast, middle-class families rely on wages and local currency income. When inflation rises and jobs become unstable, their financial position weakens quickly. Over time, this leads to a shrinking middle class and an expanding lower-income population. Economic studies have shown that prolonged conflicts often reshape wealth distribution in ways that concentrate economic power at the top. 8. Long-term economic damage and recovery challenges. Even after wars end, middle-class economies do not recover quickly. Infrastructure damage, reduced productivity, lost human capital, and long-term debt all slow down economic rebuilding. In many cases, inflation remains elevated even after conflict subsides due to lingering supply chain issues and energy market adjustments. Businesses may take years to regain confidence and reinvest in growth. As a result, the middle class often experiences a delayed recovery where living standards remain below pre-war levels for extended periods. Conclusion: wars do far more than reshape political borders. They fundamentally restructure economies. While governments may eventually rebuild, the middle class absorbs most of the economic shock through inflation, job insecurity, currency devaluation, and rising living costs. Over time, this leads to shrinking financial stability and reduced upward mobility. The destruction of middle-class economies is not always immediate or visible, but it is deeply cumulative. Each wave of inflation, each disrupted supply chain, and each lost job slowly erodes the foundation of economic security. In the end, war's most enduring battlefield is not only on land, but in the everyday financial lives of ordinary people. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.